Hello. So in this video, I will introduce you to the basic features of the Nvelop sourcing platform. So Nvelop is an AI-powered sourcing tool to help our clients run their sourcing projects more efficiently, resulting in better solutions, better deals, reduced spend, and improved compliance. So let's start. So what you see here is my workspace where I see the project, the current sourcing project where I'm a member, and also some notifications, so basically tasks from my colleagues related to the sourcing project they want me to act on. I can also update and edit some kind of master data, so vendor data, user data, and the library concept is for storing some organizational documents like policy documents, infosec requirements, so on, that we want to apply across different projects. In terms of vendors, the idea is that it's integrated to your vendor master data, but you can add vendors here as well. But let's focus now on a life cycle of one sourcing project. So we will today work on a talent acquisition project. So we're sourcing a recruitment solution. You can choose an AI model or large language model. So we'll use the default model. We have some other models here as well, but we use the default model. I'm the project owner. I'll invite some of my team members as well, and I'll just give a very brief description as for now for the solution. I want to run an RFP. It's related to IT. I want a fixed price quote. I want the vendors to build me a custom developed solution for recruitment. I'm gonna publish my RFP by the end of this month, and want the proposals by the end of next month. I will also give some background material. So I have received now from HR, I have received some of their requirements for this recruitment solution, so I can feed that to the AI by adding here as a background data. We also have a chat integrated to our platform, so I can use the AI chat to help me in creating the solution, drafting the solutions. For example, here, propose key objectives. So the AI will look at the context, and it will propose me some key objectives that I could then edit or change, and I could add some requirements and so on. But for now, I don't need those now. So here, just quickly, we'll create a new project. So the next step is around requirements. I could have already requirements or some specifications. So I want vendors to propose their solution. So I need to do that. But let's say we want to give the vendors some key requirements we have for the solution. So we have an AI to generate that, and then we'll first start with AI creating the scope. I will pause the video for a second, so we'll wait until the AI gets job done. So it took around 1 minute. So now we have a proposal based on the material and content we have given to the AI. Basically, we have now a proposals. AI has proposing a scope. So it's here we have the main processes and the sub processes. So around job requisition approval, job posting, candidate sourcing, and so on. And the idea here is that now with the project team, we would agree on the scope and modify the scope and then move on. So for example, if we think that we don't need offer generation, I can delete that part completely, or then we can modify something here, execution of the interviews and so on. So I can modify these. And then the next step, as we would be done with the scoping and the whole team is fine with the scope, we will generate the specific requirements. So again, I will pause it for a second. So now AI has completed again generation. So we have more specific requirements under each process that again we can edit, we can delete. We can use AI here to make them more concise, or otherwise edit them. We can delegate sections or processes or requirements to colleagues. We can we can leave them tasks. So for example, I'm a task here that please check this carefully, and so on. And then of course we can change the priorities of the requirement and so on. We also have non-functional requirements, and like I said, these can be based on your organization's own InfoSec requirements and so on. So when we're done, we just need to approve both the functional and non-functional requirements, and then we'll move on. The next step is to create the RFP documentation, and this, as this is now about an IT project, our tool has generated a template that we think is appropriate for IT RFPs. So we have some content, we have questions to the vendors, we have some pricing models, evaluation criteria, terms and conditions, and so on. So again, we'll use AI to populate the RFP. So now AI has again generated the content for us, and we can review it here. For example, in technical landscape, it has given an architectural overview, its list of our preferred technologies and approaches based on what we have defined. It gives a project overview and so on. And again, the idea here is that the project team will then edit and complete, but we are able to use the existing templates, plus we are getting support from AI in generating the content. We have a list of questions here, and then let's also add terms and conditions that we want our vendors to comment. So the next step is to select the vendors and publish the RFP, and as said, typically this would be integrated to the vendor master data. Here we have now 3 potential vendors that we will send the RFP to. We can also look a preview, so how the RFP looks like, and then this is also we can run a Q&A with the vendors. So let's choose these 3 vendors. And then we can create the message there as well, and now it's now submitted to the vendors. And I can revise, I can send new versions and so on. I can add new vendors later and so on. So now the process, the work moves to the vendor side. We have a concept called vendor portal where the vendors will complete the proposal. So as you can see here, that here the talent acquisition project, we are now a vendor called Future IT, and then we need to give the response. Here we need to give the pricing. We need to look at the requirement, see if we are aligned with the requirements, and so on. There's also an AI-powered Q&A feature. So if the vendors have some questions, let's say, is the proposal deadline? If the AI finds the answer from the material we have given, it provides the answer to the vendor. Otherwise, the vendors can submit the questions to the client. So now, when the vendor is done, they can submit their proposals. So now we have received 2 responses, one from Future IT, one from Success IT. All Data IT has not responded yet, so we can look at the responses, how they meet with our requirements and so on. We can also compare the proposals like we would be buying a fridge. So question by question, how do they differ, requirement by requirement, what's the difference between two vendors and so on, of course, in terms of pricing as well. But this is just pure information. We can then move to evaluation, so evaluating the proposals. We can see that, okay, all data here is empty. We have analyzed, the AI has given analysis on the solution itself, so it gives a brief summary, and then it looks at the strengths and weaknesses of these proposals, looking from the team of a solution, deviations, innovation, risks, and so on, and the similar analysis for the Success IT proposal. And this is AI generated, just a kind of a summary of the strengths and weaknesses of the proposal. Similar for the pricing and the contracting part. I think this is still not done. And it gives a summary of the proposal. It gives the ranking based on the AI analysis, but then the team can adjust the scoring. Let's say after the orals, you find that the solution is not actually that 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 great, and then you can adjust the scoring, and you can leave a comment that the integration solution was weak or whatever. So the team can use this to comment and review the proposals. And here, based on the analysis, we can shortlist the vendors that we want. Okay, and then with those vendors, we can move then to the deal room. And first, it starts by AI generating based on the analysis it has done. It creates this kind of a feedback message to the vendor, so both future and success IT. So based on their proposal, it gives some comments and then asks the vendor to improve their proposal. And of course, this is something that we can run multiple times. So basically asking them to revise their proposal if they want to improve their chances to make the next rounds. And then finally, we move to the negotiation. So the AI helps you to create a negotiation plan or a strategy that, of course, the team can then edit and complete. You will show the negotiation status. So there are open items related to the T's and C's that we send, or to the project plan. And then looking at the priority of the open items as well, and also a revision history. So how the negotiations have proceeded so far. So showing here that the vendor started with 7 open items. And how we are doing supporting the negotiations is, again, AI enabled support to the negotiation. So if we take an example here from the T's and C's around intellectual property, so our contract that we sent to the client in section 9.3 said that we should, as a client, we should own all the intellectual property rights. And we think it's important to us and it's important to the vendor. And the deviation to the vendor proposal is considered quite high. And actually, as you can see here, the vendor is saying that proposing that these IPR are jointly owned, and that's something we do not approve. And AI has suggested that we will make a counter proposal where we still keep the IP, but we give the supplier non-exclusive license to use certain components. And then, so this is how it works. The AI, based on the contract, our contracting policies, based on the contract and based on the vendor comments, it creates from our perspective, a proposal suggestion how to proceed the negotiations with some comments. And again, this is something that the team can fully edit and complete. The AI is there only to give recommendations, to support and facilitate the work. And then once we're done, we can send the revisions to the vendor. And this kind of the loop idea is that the loop here will then conclude of us narrowing down to the issue list to just few items, or even agree on all these items completely without having to sit down with the clients and without face-to-face negotiations. And of course, like I said, they can cover all the T's and C's, but they can cover the project plan, for example. There's some disagreement of how many full-time staffers the team should have, and so on. And finally, there's a project report that is basically a summary of the sourcing project, and it should act as a handover document then to the delivery organization. So this basically concludes our demo project. I hope you got an overview of how the platform works and the basic features and how we are applying AI in different parts of the process to facilitate the process, to support the users and hopefully make the whole process more effective and efficient, both for the client and also for the vendor. Thank you and bye.